Hello everyone, we're starting a stream for the BWC World Championship in the under 2000 section. We'll be watching AMockus and kevinas2005 versus Darvacki and CheckForChess. This match was supposed to start about 10 minutes ago, but there's still that everyone is online, so it should start fairly soon. Just trying to get the match offer together, looks like. I am looking for co-commentators, so if anyone out there wants to commentate, let me know. I can jump in a Discord channel somewhere. I'm hoping this will start any minute now. I think they're figuring out how to match each other. Immediately following this match, well, maybe it depends how long this match takes, but right now it's 1 p.m. for me, or 1:10 p.m. At 2 p.m. there's a match between BWC2005 and Frozen Thrush versus 95412 and Darvacki 06, also in the under 2000 section. Those are the only two BWC World Championship matches currently on the calendar for today, Thursday. So I'm hoping to be able to cover both of them. Don't really understand why it hasn't started yet. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we see AMockus and kevinas2005 is a team from Lithuania, whereas CheckForChess is from Sweden and Darvacki is from Wales. So far we haven't seen any communication in the chat, so maybe they're both in a voice call. Oh, this is a free pawn for CheckForChess, but he thinks it's more important to put a pawn in the way of this rook file. Okay, he's trying to go after the queen here, but now he's missed this opportunity for the pawn. The fourth knight would win a queen, and it is pinned, so he could wait for the fourth knight. Instead, he looks like he's going to go after the rook, maybe drop a bishop, supported by the knight. And he could get this other knight into play. So he's attacking the rook, and if the rook moves, he could just take this first. Yeah, this discovers an attack on the queen. So he's giving up 2 pieces for a queen. But his king seems relatively safe. Hey, Agbohai, thanks for watching. Oh, Darvacki on the attack. Queen in would seem very close to mate. Not quite there, but very close. Darvacki is down time. Looks like he's going to try to double up his rooks. Queen in here. Not quite maiden, but still quite good. Oh, he's just castled to get his king safer. Interesting. Here comes the queen. Okay. This is good for defense and attack. Maybe knight takes. He's just going to ignore it and come in on b2. Ooh, Kevinas says, I want a free queen. Now he's probably going to take the rook. Oh, he's won his second queen. Wow. AMockus is up time, but still does need to keep his king safe. Oh, I think he can get away with taking this bishop. After which he has the threat of rook check. Don't like this move as much, but I guess that's okay. Knight check. You want to get some initiative. Don't like this as much, but it does make threats with knight check. Yeah, this is not going to cut it. It's time for an attack, and mate is coming soon. And that is checkmate for CheckForChess. That was a missed opportunity for AMockus. He could have done this attack with more initiative. He let go of initiative when he let CheckForChess place his bishop in the back, defendant. So, it looks like CheckForChess accidentally jumped in the random pool. Hey, Night Love Raver. What is this tournament? This is the Bughouse World Championship. So, the Bughouse World Championship takes place over several months. First, there was a group stage. So let me back up. There's two sections, open section and an under 2000 section. Anyone who wanted could register. In the under 2000 section, we had 120 teams register. In the open section, we had 60 teams register. First, we had a group stage where we put the teams in groups of 4 to 6 teams. And they competed round robin. Within the under 2000 section, the top 2 teams progressed to a single elimination ladder. Within the open section, the top 2 teams, with some third place tiebreakers, progressed to a single elimination ladder. We are now in the second stage, the ladder stage, where it's single elimination. So it's basically there are the under 2000 section started with 64 teams in the ladder, and the open section started with 32 teams in the ladder. We see mate from CheckForChess, and this is queen can't take, so it's a smother mate. Anyway, this tournament, each match consists of a series of games. At this stage, it is first to 11 wins with a win by 2 condition, and the winner progresses to the next round in the tournament. There is a significant prize pool this tournament, $5,000 provided by chess.com, which is allocated between the open section and the under 2000 section. So our score right now is 2-1, favoring Darvacki and CheckForChess. So even though Darvacki is currently over 2000, he was under 2000 when the tournament started. And I've seen CheckForChess a lot in the random pool. I've seen these other 3 less than CheckForChess, but they are all somewhat active players. Darvacki has asked for 1 minute to change his mouse. So apparently he was having troubles with his mouse, maybe mouse slips or something like that. Nightlife Raver, are you from Lithuania? Is that why you were asking about a Lithuanian team? Oh, interesting. Do you know these guys? No, it's a big country, so probably not. But always good to see people from your country doing well. By the way, at the end, Darvacki had an interesting position. Let's see, whose move was it at the end? I think he could have dropped a rook on a1 for check. If knight comes back, then there's some other mate over here. Okay, we have the third game. This is a fairly popular opening on the left board. On the right board, he's trying to take out the knight so he could jump over. I think CheckForChess. Sorry, AMockus has picked up a pawn in this little exchange. Kevinas is attacking the dark squares. CheckForChess is tempoing the queen. If he could get a knight, then putting something on h5 could be interesting, even without the knight, because this discovers an attack. Oh, now you can just take the queen. Yeah, it was hard for the queen to find a square there. So CheckForChess has picked up a free queen. Rook mates for him. He is not up time though, so he can't wait for that. AMockus is trying to put some pieces on the board to protect his king. Oh, Darvacki now getting in on the dark squares. Bishop check and pick up a queen. Or you could pawn check. Let's see. Yeah, he's just gonna pawn check to trade for pieces. This queen is under attack. And now Kevinas picks up a queen. This is an odd trade. He lost a piece for that. Okay, but now Kevinas has initiative. Queen mates. And this queen is trapped. Kevinas is up time, so he can wait for it. Interesting move here. I think he could have put another bishop in instead of just moving the queen over. But fine, I guess. So this move would at least gain a little bit of time. But he's up by over 11 seconds here. And there's the queen. That's mate. Our score is now 2-1, favoring the CheckForChess team. Darvacki and Kevinas have played this same opening before. So maybe we'll see this opening over and over again. Kevinas has picked up some initiative, got his knight into the action, trying to consolidate around his king. And he's just given up. Oh, what? This was a possible move. Rook mates, as does, well, no, two knights don't mate because this bishop covers. If this bishop weren't here, then two knights would mate as well with knight check, knight check. Right now it's just the rook or queen that mates. Could take the knight castling to get king out of danger. That's also reasonable. Maybe new knight in to pick up a queen. New knight check. Rook check would also pick up a queen. But of course he doesn't want to give the rook. Maybe bring this back. Oh, okay. This is covered for now. Could just keep dropping pawns to tempo over here. Darvacki can trade queens whenever he wants. CheckForChess has to be careful of draws. I think he's making progress over here. I guess Darvacki would like a knight. Knight check, king up, take queen. Interesting. He doesn't have a blocker right now, but he is up time, so could theoretically wait for a blocker. Pawn check is very good on the CheckForChess board. Pawn is currently mate for Darvacki. Oh, and there's a mate on the back rank as well. Chessmate. Our score is now 3-0, favoring Darvacki and CheckForChess. Might see a sack. Yep. Gonna get in on light squares. The rook does guard the queen. There might be a queen trade. If he could get a knight to check, that would be good. Or a few pawns. Tempo the king. Unfortunately, Darvacki is down time. Maybe get the bishop out. Don't like this move. Now the queen trade favors kevinas. I think getting the bishop out was better. And the rook would guard, and Darvacki could have picked up some initiative. So on this board, AMockus seems safe and is on the attack. So you might see pawn takes g7 to attack the queen. Also attack h8. Two rooks were currently mate for Darvacki. Rook at a8. And then if something interposes, rook at c7. You might see pawn in to tempo the rook. Although this king is a little bit unsafe right now. So it might be time for Darvacki to defend if he doesn't get rooks. He is going to defend. This might have been an opportunity for rook check, king takes, new knight in for kevinas. So maybe knight takes bishop, get in on the light squares. But Darvacki really has nothing to drop. That's going to be a problem. Bishop back. And he is down 13 seconds. There's a mate and one threat on the board. Darvacki probably going to need to switch to defense. Castle. Something like that. That's very risky. Queen at d3 with no blockers in hand would probably lead to mate. So, oh, was his king? If his king already moved, I guess he couldn't cut. Wait, can he castle? Is his king moved? I guess it's just over. So our score right now is 3-2. We have a match. So this pawn structure is quite good for defense for AMockus. So I don't really like bishop takes knight from Check4Chess. Just helps with the defense. Darvacki and kevinas2005 have traded a whole bunch of material. This pawn is going to fall eventually. I think castle, kingside, probably the next move for Darvacki. He is down time. He's not going to get more material. kevinas2005's king is fairly safe in this pawn structure. Looks like kevinas2005 is waiting for material just to get his king a little bit safer. That's reasonable. Trying to create some light squared weaknesses for AMockus. Maybe pawn in. Queen in. I would have put a pawn there. I don't see the reason for the queen. The pawn would tempt the rook just as well. Check4Chess is on the attack. Maybe knight takes pawn. As this queen is now useful in that it pins this pawn. I do like knight takes pawn. Put a new rook in. Don't like the bishop, but I think it's probably fine. That's a free queen. You could just take that. Or he could drop a pawn in and sack the queen. I just like knight takes bishop. Seems reasonable enough. So the threat, if it were Check4Chess's move, to put a pawn in and then take this rook with one or both knights. Ooh, I don't like king up. King over much, or no, actually, never mind. King over and queen would have come in. He had to go up. My bad. Now this bishop may be useful for defense. Knight guards. He's going to go to the safety of this queen. The knights. This king, strangely enough, may be safe. Not only that, if this knight ever takes something, that's a discovered check. So AMockus has to be careful. Oh my god. This is the king of white. So that's kind of amazing in itself. Okay, pawn check, and we can get back checking. Kevinas has checkmated Darvacki on the right board. Our score right now is 4-2, favoring CheckForChess. And we see CheckForChess has pre-moved a lot of recaptures. Recaptures are generally safe pre-moves to make. CheckForChess already up about 15 seconds. I probably would have taken this knight here. But, I mean, take knight, then you could come back, attack the pawn, something like that. But CheckForChess is up time. Knight probably needs to retreat. Don't really understand what he's waiting for. I guess another option is take this pawn. Well, first you got to deal with this threat. But you could sack for the pawn, drop a knight, start to get initiative. I don't understand why he took that. Now he's giving up his queen, and it wasn't really a threat before. So I don't think CheckForChess is defending very accurately. You get more pieces on the board with a bishop check. Trying to temper the rook, I'm not sure why. Alright, that's a free pawn. It's another free pawn, but knight check is very good. Actually, yeah, knight check is very good. I was looking at some other mate, but I don't think it worked because of this. You could just come up, go for this. Okay. We're going for c8, rook over to defend. Oh, I guess also attacking this. That's clever. We could just check here, then take, sack the queen. But Kevinas, this king is very unsafe. So Kevinas is attacking. That's a good way of dealing with both threats. I like it. Yeah, bishop a5. Yeah, he found it. Wow. I think you can push and then reveal an attack here. I would definitely push. That's mate. So our score right now is looks like 5-2, favoring Darvacki and CheckForChess. I hate this move. This limits development. You can never push this pawn, get the king's bishop out. This is a really poorly placed bishop. That's a free pawn. Oh, he's taking the free queen instead. Okay. Getting a lot of initiative. A knight would be very good for him. Or a bishop to create a battery. Okay, that's reasonable. Get the queen in. Darvacki would like trades. He is down some time though. Going for promotion. Hard promotion to stop with the material in hand. Nice move. Yeah, that's mate. And a pawn would have made it there, as would a knight or a rook. So basically, any piece would have made it for Darvacki. So at this point, it's about getting up on time. AMockus, all he has to do is, or what? I'm sorry. AMockus needs to checkmate. CheckForChess just needs to get up on time, and he has. So our score is now 6-2, favoring CheckForChess and Darvacki. It looks like CheckForChess's team accidentally entered the random pool again. And they've aborted, so hopefully they will match their intended opponents again. Oh, here we go. Let's see a sack. Oh, not anymore. So CheckForChess has a fairly safe king. Maybe knight attempt with this pawn here. Ooh, queen trade on offer. That's a free pawn. Why are we not taking free pawns? That was a missed opportunity. Okay, pawn in. Don't like knight in. Not nearly as good. And now AMockus is fairly safe. I guess you want to get in on the dark squares. Maybe throw a pawn on c5 or something like that. Well, why can't he just take that? I guess it could force a queen trade with queen in, which may benefit Darvacki. It still can force a queen trade. So Darvacki and CheckForChess are down about 15 seconds. Darvacki would love trades. His king is very vulnerable, but his king is vulnerable as well. On in, maybe? Yep. CheckForChess is generating an attack here. I wonder if there's mate, actually. Knight check, this probably is the mate. Knight check, can't go king over or there's some other mate. So knight check, pawn takes, rook check, king takes, pawn in, king takes, knight check, queen in. That's mate. So AMockus has mate, but he has to give some material for it. I don't think AMockus sees this mate, but knight check leads to mate. When you have this much material in hand, like AMockus does, you should be looking for sacrifices that will lead to mate. It's like I think AMockus is laser focused on the fact that he doesn't want to give up this queen and he's worried about his defense. He really should be looking to attack. Knight check is mate. Missed opportunity here. Not only is it mate, but I mean, he's up time. All his partner needs to do is not move, and all these moves are forced. He finds it. Rook check. That's the wrong place to go. Now it's not mate anymore. He needed to put the rook on h1. So mate has been missed. We're going to see pawn check, new knight in, and now check for chess has mate. Kevinas has got to promote a pawn there. In these endgame type situations, pawns are very powerful. Just drop them on the 7th, promote immediately. Queen in was mate, but he has mate in 2 there anyway. So yeah, this game should have gone the other way. If AMockus had dropped the rook on h1 instead of g2. That's a win. That would have been a win for the Lithuanian team. Darvacki traded in a lot of pieces. He just gave up a pawn. Knight check is going to win the rook, actually. Knight check, take rook. Darvacki in some trouble. Ooh, does new knight in work? I guess not, because this is defended. So it doesn't quite work. Good defensive move. I like it from check for chess. Maybe bishop in, something like that. Darvacki very uncomfortable here. If queen takes, then rook would be quite good. Oh, that's a free bishop. That was weird. This knight might be able to hop in someday. Ooh, I don't know if he had time for this. I mean, if his partner stalls, then he had time for it. Okay, this is mate. Pawn check, then knight in, or bishop check, then knight in. Knight in is mate. The win for the Lithuanian team. Our score right now is 7-3, favoring the check for chess team. This is a great move, attacks and defends. Don't really like this move, doesn't accomplish very much. I guess he's hoping he takes so that he can grab the queen. He could drop a pawn in. Eventually this might happen now. So he wants a new knight. Ooh, I would have taken with knight there. But I guess this is fine. Maybe time to castle. Maybe time to castle. There we go. What's going on the other board? Check for chess seems to have a pretty good attack. This is a good defensive move. Take this. Maybe rook over check before anything else happens. Might as well get the rook involved. That's a missed opportunity. This is a good defensive move. Attack and defend. You could take the pawn, jump back up. Yeah, he's threatening pawn check. We're going to trade knights. Nope, this is defended. Oh, I guess before you could have traded the queens too. Attacking the bishop. This is a really nice attack from Check4Chess. It's got to be mate. Bishop check. Oh, that's a great way to get the other bishop in. I like that move. If king down, then knight would mate. He could just push the pawn for now. Take, get the bishop in, threaten bishop in here. Okay, so now knight is good, rook is good. I guess you could drop a bishop far away. You could retreat the bishop. Ooh, now this king is going for a run. Not sure about that one. Oh, why aren't we taking that rook? Okay. I think you have to take everything and come back. Oh, we can take that with check. I think you can sack the rook. Ooh, now new knight is very good. It checkmates. Rook check, rook takes. This is a decent move as well. Just take the rook. I can't give up the queen. Seems reasonable. Knight takes. You can push this pawn. This is decent too. Mate threatened with rook checks. I think you can take this and then drop another pawn in. I don't like that as much. You can promote the pawn now. Oh, that's reasonable too. And meanwhile, Check4Chess has made it AMockus with all these trades his partner got him. I believe our score is 8-3. Favoring the Check4Chess team. I'm not sure what the holdup is for the next game. It is currently 1:52 p.m. for me. In 8 minutes, our next match starts. We'll probably roll right from one match to the next. Darvacki picked up a free pawn. You can take this bishop and then get a pawn to tempo the knight. I don't really like that knight retreat. I guess we take this and then drop a new knight in. Ooh, don't like that at all. Take it, new knight in. Threatening promotion. Maybe bishop check. Okay, pawn check. You can take that. New bishop in. Good for defense. Rook thread over here. Let's check the other board. Check for chess on the attack. I think he can just go down. Knight's guard. Queen guards. Seems safe. New bishop in. Maybe. Oh, or you might see a queen sack. Can he afford that? Maybe not. Ooh, I think he had to go for the queen sack. Otherwise, he's just dead. There's now no way to defend this, and this king is safe forever. So, pawn check mates, pawn check promote, take there. There's a pawn, pawn check. Promote, take, then smother mate. Check for chess just needs to live. Gotta get this bishop out eventually. Check for chess doesn't need to move anymore. He is up 8 seconds, but he's not in any danger. That's a free pawn. King takes, perfectly safe. One pawn is coming for AMockus for the rest of the game. Queen trade on offer. AMockus could just resign. Now they're down to over 20 seconds. Bishop check. This pawn move was not as forced in. Bishop check, still good. It was better last move. Queen check. Or maybe rook over. I think he just walked the king. I just walked the king down. You could queen check, but I'd like getting the king out of the spin first. Or check for chess could wait for the rook, since the rook mates. Okay, our score is now 9-3, favor in check for chess and Darvacki. It is first to 11 with a win by 2 condition. So probably just 2 more games here, given how this has been going. A good knight outpost. You can take that. Probably just rook and then take. That's a very odd move. I guess you take that, but that's kind of a wasted rook. I don't know why check for chess didn't just go for the win. Well, I mean, go for the attack. Winning a queen in the process. I don't know what this accomplishes. Okay, this now makes sense. Threatening queen in. This bishop has to move. Maybe here. It's a little sketchy. This is interesting. Tempo the queen. Bishop here would have been good for attack or defense. Bishop here would have been good too. Let's go with this pawn. This is an odd place for the queen. It does force a knight. Does a knight mate for his partner? I don't think so, but knight in is quite good. Knight check is going to let him promote the pawn. And that's what we see. Oh, we forgot to check though. I guess Darvacki was down a bunch of time. I don't think down was right. I think he should have gone over. Now, kevinas needs to keep check. I think a pawn is what he needs. Could throw a bishop in to pin this. Knight probably mates. New knight in. Rook check is quite good though. I guess that mates too. Queen takes, then knight mates. Mate in one. Nice mate from kevinas. And the problem there was his opponent let go of initiative. Score right now is 9-4, favoring CheckForChess. King up, that has to be a mouse slip. Probably meant bishop up. Darvacki is on the run now. That's a free knight. This pawn structure isn't terrible for him though. But Darvacki is going to be defendant for a while. Knight check. Maybe it's time to get the king's bishop out. Ooh, he needs a blocker. If he goes queen up, then that would be a free dude. Wow. Okay. Bishop check would win. Bishop check followed by knight check. So bishop wins for kevinas. Did they realize that? They are up 6 seconds. Okay. This wasn't... I think he should have waited for a bishop. But since they were up time, maybe he didn't see the mate. But this is still a reasonable attack. Red is knight check, followed by rook check. Okay, that's reasonable. So kevinas has picked up material, but has let go of check. Kevinas still up time. Knight would be quite good for him. Oh, I would have just taken the bishop probably, honestly. Darvacki still down time, trying to get an attack. I would get rid of this threat. Okay, he's going for the rook. You gotta get rid of this pawn threat someday. Now there's a rook mate threat. So, yes, bishop check. Take this pawn. Ooh, I don't like that one. Oh, maybe, never mind. I guess it mates. He had, if, I guess it was a good move, because if king takes, then queen takes rook. So yeah, that was a nice find. So here, I think you should have sacked. You can sack the knight, king takes, and then drop a pawn and win the piece back. So it wasn't even a sack. That would have resulted in free material. We can take this. Or we could just, actually that's just a free pawn. I would have taken the free pawn. Still a free pawn. Knight takes pawn. That I do not like. You picked up a pawn, but there was better. You could have done it things with initiative. This is getting tricky for check for chess. Finally, he takes his pawn. You can drop a new knight in. So Darvacki would like a knight, I guess. Oh, trying to promote a pawn. I'll just save the bishop. He's still down a little bit of time. AMockus up about 4 seconds. But AMockus about to lose some material. Queen in is pretty bad for kevinas. Maybe we just take this pawn. He can, no he can't because of rook in the back. Tough position for AMockus. I think he needs to give up the queen, which is probably going to mate his partner. Maybe just a pawn check to try to gain like a second, as he's down 2 seconds. Nope, no longer mates his partner. Maybe new bishop in, something like that. Now they're up about 9 seconds. Darvacki is clearly going to get the queen next move. We're going to see queen in. And after that, very little will be needed to mate. Rook check. Queen here mates. That mates as well. Our score right now is 10-5, favoring check for chess. This is probably match point. I mean, it's match point if check for chess wins. Pawn in, pick up a piece. Oh, we see a sack on the Darvacki board. Why didn't we take this knight? Bishop in. Defends the king well. Oh, we're sacking the queen. Okay, pawn in, I guess. Queen mates, by the way. I'm not sure why check for chess is sitting. Okay, this is interesting. It's a good way to get more pieces in play. This square is covered. But yeah, I like this knight move. Chase this queen around. Oh, watch out for checkmate. Might need to castle. I suppose a knight up is another option. is looking okay. That's a check. Hmm. Interesting. Down about 8 seconds though. This is really hard. This knight is fallen. After which this is a threat. You could even drop the queen here to pick up the knight if you wanted to do it. Or no, never mind. That hangs it. My bad. Yeah, there's the knight. Now this probably leads to mate. Okay. Knight mates. Queen check. Take. And he's taken the knight. That was not the way to do it. Probably still mates this way, but not quite as clear. King up was the way to go there. King up and he could have survived. Our score is now 10-6. Favoring the CheckForChess team. Darvacki has won a piece for a pawn. Up another knight, I guess. Go for this pawn. Or you could just bring this bishop in. Ooh, I don't like that. Maybe, I guess his partner really needed a knight, but definitely wasn't good for the CheckForChess board. Better to keep the threat. Okay, the idea is to pin the queen if that happens. Now we can take that. Ooh, I would have taken this knight. Okay. Maybe bishop in, like that. Wow. You go king up, I guess. Rook takes. Well, now this is really close to mate. That's a great move. It prevents the queen from coming in. Ooh, that you can't do. That's mate. Queen in here was mate. I mean, not mate in one, but mate real soon. Instead, he gets mated. That was a missed opportunity for AMockus and kevinas2005. So if he played queen in, then we have king back. And I think that's discovered double check. Oh no, maybe not because this bishop was here. But it's still a good position. Queen in. You could even trade the queens, knight out. I mean, it's a try. Okay, final score is 11-6. Favoring Darvacki and CheckForChess. Alright, at this point, we're going to see if the other match is already going on, which it probably is. Alright, let's unfollow these guys. And we're going to follow people from the other match. Okay, our score in this match right now is 3-2